Thank you, Mr. Chair. My name is Mike Mertens. I represent the Arkansas Association of Educational Administrators. And we do believe that this law would lead to higher interest rates for school district bonds. In past years, when school districts were previously limited to when they could ask for a millage, it did result in bonds being marketed within a relatively short period of time. And it's simple, the idea of supply and demand. When there's more bonds out there for sale at a particular time, then you tend to get a lower interest rate. And the difference between 30 or 40 basis points on a bond issue can be substantial taxpayer dollars over a period of time. The Nettleton School District just a couple of weeks ago sold a $4 million bond issue, 40 basis points over the basically 0.4% over the life of that bond issue would have cost that district over $200,000. Now, can districts wait to sell bonds? I think Representative Bell has talked about the span, but yes, they can. But in actuality, if a local community supports the millage increase, the school board and administration and the community are typically anxious to sell these bonds and to start construction as soon as possible. I live in the Greenbrier School District, had a millage election a couple of weeks ago. I think the community, even people like myself that know the process of selling bonds and getting a building started, they realize they want to see a return on their investment. If they've agreed to raise their taxes, they want to see that those bonds sold and that building started as soon as possible. Now there is some historical data that shows this. You have to go back 20 years or so. But when bonds were sold in a short period of time, the interest rates tend to get higher as you got toward the end. And again, just the difference of 30, 40 basis points, 0.5% can equal a substantial amount of money over the life of the bond issue. Now, I will say, again, just going through an election in my home district where I live, the advent of social media has allowed for a lot of notices to go out. I don't have children in that district anymore, so I'm not on their phone, that automated phone call where they get notices about schools being out or other announcements. But via Twitter and Facebook and Twitter, I received reminders that go vote in the millage election. It wasn't to support or not to support. It was just a reminder to go vote. So I think the 3 millage elections that occurred a couple of weeks ago, there were almost 8,000 people that voted in the election. I do know that in my election, my home election, the turnout was 3 times what it was in the previous millage election. I think with the advent of social media, you will see a lot more turnout at millage elections. And with that, I'll conclude my remarks and be glad to answer any questions.